beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and it's time for my March ranking. This is a new series this year on my channel where, ahead of my monthly favorites, I do a monthly ranking where I talk about only the new products that I reviewed during the past month. So, in general, you will see some overlap between things that show up in my ranking and things that show up in my favorites. But in general, my favorites will include a lot of things that are either not makeup products or not things that I have newly reviewed. So, just rediscovered favorites, my favorite books, things like that. But for this series, I have created this little tier list that you see here, and I'm going to go back through the past month of reviews and I'm going to rank each of those products on this tier list. I do use the products throughout the month, and you can see those show up in my different get ready with me's and things like that. So beyond just straight reviewing, I'm also continually testing these products so that I have a good idea of where they fall on this placement for me. Of course, I think the highest tier is very self-explanatory. These are going to be the best of the best things that I reviewed. I love, I adore, I'm obsessed, I'm impressed. These are my absolute favorite new products from the month. Just below that, the I am in like with you tier is better than just meh, but not quite love and adore territory. These things are really good, and all of these products have the potential to change ranking, but the I am in like with you products are the ones that really have the potential to become obsessions. They just haven't quite made it there yet for one reason or another. Just meh are things that aren't terrible, but they're also not great. They're very middle of the road, and I think a lot of products tend to fall here for me. I have a lot more things that I consider to be just meh versus terrible. This bottom tier is the least best. These are the products that really don't work out for me. I don't tend to have a lot of products in this tier, and honestly, this month, I don't know if I'll have any in this one. I had a pretty good run. I also didn't review, numbers-wise, a lot of new things this month. I'm gonna use the order that I actually reviewed these things. The very first new product that I reviewed in the month of March was this new Lethal collection, and there are 3 different products. So we have this Multichrome Flaky. This is the gel type of texture. It comes in this little pot. I was a lot more impressed with these than I expected to be. I thought I was probably gonna dislike these, and I actually ended up liking them way more than I thought I would. I need to use these in a tutorial, but in general, I would say these lie probably somewhere in this territory. I'm gonna give it a low I'm in like with you. These multichrome flakies have a lot of potential for me, so I'm gonna keep them for now in the I am in like with you category because I do think this is something that surprised me, impressed me a lot more than I expected, and generally I think they're pretty cool. Next, we have these Pressed Multichromes. This particular collection of Pressed Multichromes had a very translucent base, and that's just not my personal preference. Certainly, there are a lot of people who are gonna like these and who prefer a product like that. For me, they're just meh. They don't have as much impact as I would like. It's not that they underperform, it's just that they don't really suit my preferences. However, these Pure Metals shadows, these were by far my favorite thing from this little collection that I reviewed, especially the shade Moonstone. In general, these Pure Metals shadows just really suit my personal taste more, and I absolutely love them. So these are a top tier product for me. Next thing we're going to talk about is this About Face The Performer foundation. I did a wear test with this. I have been very dedicated to wearing this foundation throughout the month, and I gotta tell you, for me, for my skin type, for my preferences, absolutely love this. I had high expectations for this foundation because I saw a lot of people talking about it in a way that made me want to try it. So I was not let down. My expectations were met and exceeded. This is definitely one of the best products in general that I've tried so far this year. And I've had a lot of good luck with base products. This is absolutely one of of my favorite foundations in my collection now. This is one of 2 palettes that I reviewed this month. It's the Nomad Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. That's a very long name for a beautiful palette. I'm going to call it the Nomad Ireland palette from here on out. I really, really like this one. There are 2 things that are stopping me from putting it in the very top tier. The first thing is I do feel like for this to be the perfect color story for me, I would need to tweak maybe 2 of the shadows. But in general, the reason why I don't feel like this is a love, adore, obsessed, impressed tier palette for me is that I don't love this one as much as I love the New Zealand Stargazing palette, and that was an automatic top tier for me. So I feel like this comes in just under. It's like a borderline. I want to put it just where it's barely touching the top. Performance-wise, beautiful. The shades that are in here, stunning. I've loved the looks I've done with this. I've used it quite a lot this month, and I do think it's really, really great. It's just not as high ranking as their previous palette, so that's why it's just a little bit lower down in the ranking, but still beautiful, great. I still really, really like it. I do borderline love it, but I won't say obsessed. So that's why it's just barely not in the top tier. The one and only lip product we'll see in the ranking is from Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filler Gloss. I genuinely really enjoy these. I'm very happy to report that these don't have any of that tingling, plumping, burning sensation that I expected from a plumping gloss. These are not going to burn my lips, and for that, I am forever grateful. If there were more shades, I feel like this has the potential to move up. Formula-wise, beautiful. I really, really like a couple of the colors. I've worn them a lot. They've become my purse lip gloss, which is, as you probably know, a very high honor. But I'm just not quite excited enough, I guess, is the way to put it. Maybe if there were some more colors added to the range, maybe over time I will fall more deeply in love. For now, I'll say these are a high ranking I am in like with you product, but again, not quite to this level. It's close, but it's not quite there. The final palette for this month, I didn't review a lot of new products this month, did I? This is the other palette that I reviewed in March. It's the Colourpop So Elemental palette. I like this one. I'm definitely not obsessed, impressed with it. It's not quite just meh, but I don't like it as much as the Nomad Ireland palette. This is sort of here for me. Love the cooler tones. I actually really, really love this dark blue shimmery shade. I've done some beautiful looks with this. However, I do feel like it was pretty easily dupable with a lot of my other Colourpop eyeshadows. So I guess it's just not quite bringing enough specifically special eyeshadows into my collection, but I like it a lot more than I expected to. Performance-wise, it was also maybe a little bit underwhelming. Again, not terrible, definitely not a least best worthy type of product. I think this is a decent placement for this one. Last, but certainly not least, we have the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. I just reviewed this earlier this week. However, I have been wearing it for a little over 2 weeks. I had pre-filmed a couple of my reviews, and this concealer has worked so beautifully for me. I love to wear it by itself. I love to wear it with the About Face foundation. I genuinely think this is one of the best concealers that I have in my collection right now. This is a dream team duo for me. I have dry skin. I have what is definitely considered mature skin in the beauty world, and this combo makes my skin look fresh, natural, glowy, hydrated, healthy, beautiful. It lasts all day. It looks good all day. This is my dream team. I can't imagine that this combo will be dethroned, but if it is, I'm looking forward to that because this is so good. It would have to be a miracle product to be better than this duo for me. Wow, that's it. I only have 8 new products to rank. I did a lot of non-straight review videos this month. I did my favorite silvers, my favorite greens. I did a couple of tutorials. I did a get ready with me. I did a book inspired build your own palette, some sale recommendations, just a lot of non-straight reviewing new products type of videos this month. I like to switch it up and hopefully you enjoy that too. Even though it wasn't a jam-packed with new products month, I still think it was a very successful month because look, no least best products. This is the first time this year that we haven't had a least best. So that's pretty great in my opinion. Hopefully we can keep having these very top heavy rankings and just try a bunch of really great new stuff this year. Although, I have a feeling we'll have a couple more products that fall into the least best category in the coming months. All of these products, of course, have dedicated reviews if you want more information, you want to see them in action, you want to hear more of my in-depth opinions, swatches, application demos, all that good stuff will be linked down in the description box. So make sure you go check those out if any of these piqued your interest. And of course, I would love to hear what you enjoyed this month. Have you tried any of these products and had a similar experience? Maybe you've had a totally different experience based on your preferences, your skin type, your style. I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Love your face! Bye!